Greetings everyone, this is Danielle Moses with Red Sea Preparatory Academy bringing you your thought for Thursday. I realize it's been a moment, it's been a while, but we're not going to dwell on the past. We're going to focus on the present and the future. And today's thought. So today's thought has to do with your mouth, my mouth, our mouths as believers, and what we should say. And Paul tells us something very specific in his epistle of Ephesians. So if you go to Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29, it says the following: let no unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only such a word as is good for edification according to the need of the moment, so that it will give grace to those who hear. So what is unwholesome words, or what is corrupt communications? A lot of us know that passage from King James which says corrupt communication or corrupt words. So a lot of times when we think about corrupt, we think about profanity, we think about cussing, but does that encompass everything that has to do with corrupt communication? Is that all that Paul intended? I don't think so. I think that it encompasses more. So we know as believers, yeah, maybe we shouldn't cuss. Maybe we shouldn't drop the F-bomb and all the rest of the bombs. We shouldn't do that. But what else does corruption and corrupt communication encompass? Well, I think it also includes vulgarity. And what is vulgarity and vulgar language? That's explicit reference to sex and sexual organs in your body. You know you know what that refers to. So yeah, we shouldn't use vulgar language, and a lot of times in our society now, vulgar language isn't really categorized as vulgar. It's being witty, it's being, sophisticated in your when you talk to people and using sarcasm. It's cute, but I think that's incorrect. It's very, very vulgar, and we should just categorize it as what it is: vulgar language. So okay, we shouldn't use profane language, we shouldn't use this explicit sexual undertones, which is vulgar, and you shouldn't text it either. Trust me, don't sext. That's just as wrong, okay? But what else does it encompass, and what else is Paul referring to? One of the things I want to talk to you specifically about is communicating your fears and lies. And a lot of times lies are drawn from fear. So not just the lies that someone might tell in a courtroom when they get on the stand and they say, hey, he or she raped me, and you know he or she did not rape you. That's a lie. You shouldn't communicate those, and I think we know that, along with the profane language and the vulgar language. But what about the other lies? What about the lies we package as advice and wisdom that are really comments from our own fear and insecurities? So I had a girlfriend, and I was talking to her about her situation. She was telling me how hurt she was because she said she had talked to a friend about something that God had laid on her heart. God had given her an assignment, and she said that she was going to obey it. And she told her friend, hey, God has led me to do this, and I'm going to do it. And, I'm nervous about it. Will you pray for me? And she's all like, her girlfriend was like, no, you know you can't do this. God did not tell you you can do this. You're going to fail, ... And so she is still dealing with that like a year or so later. And that's the power of words sometimes. And sometimes we think that when we are telling people and addressing people that we're giving them wisdom, but it's not. What her friend did was give her this package of fear for her friend, her own insecurities, using her experiences, her past that she doesn't understand and she's kind of bitter about, and her own ignorance, and she packaged it through words and gave it to her and said, this is my advice, this is my wisdom I'm giving you, you need to adhere to what I say. But no, that's not what that is. That's not advice, that's not wisdom, that's fear. And that's corrupt communication. That's unwholesome words that are coming from your mouth. And that's what we do when we don't understand the situation. When people ask us for advice, we feel like we can tell them something, but what we're doing is leaning on our own understanding. So let's contrast corrupt communication or unwholesome words to the latter part of that verse. And Paul says, a word that is good for edification according to the need of the moment. So to edify is to instruct, to guide, and as believers we're to instruct each other, guide each other, help each other in righteousness and holiness, in living a holy lifestyle. So what she said had nothing to do with holiness. She wasn't instructing her friend on anything. She was just giving her advice, again, coming from a place of fear and insecurity. And then he also says that it will give grace to those who hear. What is grace? Grace is God's unmerited kindness towards us who are undeserving of it. There was no kindness in anything she said. Later in the Bible, it also says, speak the truth in love. There was no love in what she said. It was fear, it was frustration, it was insecurities, and it was hurtful. And I know sometimes the truth hurts, but it's supported with love and comfort and compassion. And none of that came from her. And you can tell from the fruit of it, because look at her friend. She's still dealing with the disappointment of her friend giving her those words and not even communicating with her anymore because she doesn't understand the God-sized assignment that her friend was given. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. You know, corrupt communication and unwholesome words are not just profanity. It's not just vulgar language and sexting, hello. But it's also lies and fears that you spread to other people because it's coming from your own place of insecurity. Let's also add to that gossip. Let's also add to that drama. Sometimes you just need to stop passing the story on. Just go to God and tell him what your issues are and tell him what you heard. And don't tell your friends what you heard, because that's gossip. All right, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you have a blessed weekend, and hopefully I'll be coming back soon with another thought.